Welcome to the Grimm's Fairy Tales. Today I will be telling one of the scariest stories ever told. It's called Little Red Cap, and it goes like this. Once upon a time, there was a dear little girl who was loved by everyone who looked at her, but most of all by her grandmother, and there was nothing that she would not have given the child. Once she gave her a little cap of red velvet, which suited her so well that she would never wear anything else. So she always was called Little Red Cap. One day her mother said to her, "Come, Little Red Cap, here is a piece of cake and a bottle of wine. Take them to your grandmother. She is ill and weak, and they will do her good. Set out before it gets hot, and when you are going, walk nicely and quietly, and do not run off the path, or you may fall and break the bottle, and then your grandmother will get nothing. And when you go into her room, don't forget to say good morning, and don't peep into every corner before you do it." "I will take great care," said Little Red Cap to her mother, and gave her hand on it. The grandmother lived out in the wood, half a league from the village, and just as Little Red Cap entered the wood, a wolf met her. Red Cap did not know what a wicked creature he was, and was not at all afraid of him. "Good day, Little Red Cap," he said. "Thank you kindly, Wolf. Whither so early, Little Red Cap?" "To my grandmother's." "What have you got in your apron?" "Cake and wine. Yesterday was baking day. So poor and sick grandmother is to have something good to make her stronger." Where does your grandmother live, Little Red Cap?" "A good quarter of a league farther on in the wood. Her house stands under the three large oak trees. The nut trees are just below. You surely must know it," replied Little Red Cap. The wolf thought to himself, "What a tender young creature! What a nice plump mouthful she will be better eat than the old woman. I must act craftily, so as to catch both." He walked for a short time by the side of Little Red Cap, and then he said, "See, Little Red Cap, how pretty the flowers are about here. Why do you not look around? I believe, too, that you do not hear how sweetly the birds are singing. You walk gravely along, as if you were going to school, while everything else is out here in the wood is merry." Little Red Cap raised her eyes, and when she saw the sunbeams dancing here and there through the trees and pretty flowers growing everywhere, she thought, "Suppose I take grandmother a fresh nosegay. That would please her too. It is so early in the day that I shall get there in good time." And so she ran from the path into the wood to look for flowers, and whenever she had picked one, she fancied that she saw a still prettier one farther on, and ran after it, and so it got deeper and deeper into the wood. Meanwhile the wolf ran straight to the grandmother's house and knocked at the door. "Who is there?" "Little Red Cap," replied the wolf. "She is bringing cake and wine. Open the door." "Lift the latch," called out the grandmother. "I am too weak and cannot get up." The wolf lifted the latch, the door sprang open, and without saying a word he went straight to the grandmother's bed and devoured her. Then he put on her clothes, dressed himself in her cap, laid himself in bed, and drew the curtains. The cat thought to herself, "As long as I live, I will never myself leave the path to run into the wood when my mother has forbidden me to do so." It is also related that once, when Red Cap was again taking cakes to her old grandmother, another wolf spoke to her and tried to entice her from the path. Red Cap, however, was on her guard and went straight forward on her way, and told her grandmother that she had met the wolf, and that he had said good morning to her, but with a wicked look in her eyes, that if they had not been in the public road, she was certain she would have eaten her up. Well," said the grandmother, "we will shut the door, that he may not come in." Soon afterwards the wolf knocked and cried, "Open the door, grandmother. I am Little Red Cap, and am bringing you some cakes." But they did not speak or open the door, so the gray beard stole twice or thrice around the house, and at last jumped on the roof, intending to wait until Red Cap went home in the evening, and then to steal after her and devour her in the darkness. But the grandmother saw what was in his thoughts. In front of the house was a great stone through, so she said to the child, "Take the pail, Red Cap. I have made some sausages yesterday, so carry the water in which I boiled them to the through." Red Cap carried until the great through was quite full. Then the smell of the sausages reached the wolf, and he sniffed and peed down, and at last stretched out his neck so far that he could no longer keep his footing, and began to slip, and slipped down from the roof straight into the great through, and was drowned. And that is the story of Little Red Cap. But don't look so grave. Everything out here in the woods is merry. Come with me, you'll see.